Alright, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to make a video about basically my thoughts on Final Fantasy after playing it for a few months. I haven't played it for about a week, a little over a week now because I have the baby, but I was thinking about Final Fantasy a lot, obviously because I've been playing it, and I genuinely think that Final Fantasy has so many strong points that it's hard to pick a favorite thing in the game, and I think that that's unique. Like, I don't have a lot of games that I enjoy to the point where I can't really pick something I don't like, except for maybe minor, like extremely minor things. Like, the glamour system could be a little bit more streamlined, and they've talked about that before. And the other thing maybe would be like inventory, but if those are the worst things, I mean, it's really nothing. I enjoy the PvP, which a lot of people don't, and my favorite parts of the game kind of come down to I love the fact that you can play every single class on one character. I think that that is an extremely cool idea, and it makes it so that you can play one character forever if you wanted to. And as someone who struggles with like creating alts all the time in other MMOs, this helps me a lot. Because I can have all of my progress on one character, and it's like a genius idea, in my opinion. My other favorite parts of the game are the content. I really enjoy the raids that I've done so far. I really enjoy the dungeons. I love group content in every game that I play. It's like why I play games, is to play with other people. And I think that that content is done extremely well, to the point that I haven't played a game where it does it so well, basically. The fact that everything ties into the story, and everything has an interesting story as well, makes it a lot more interesting to me, as someone who doesn't even really play story games. I think that they did a really good job with that. And aside from that, the early game dungeons, even though they are slow, because they're supposed to be, they're like a tutorial into doing dungeons, I firmly believe that they are actually really good for new players. When I first went into Sastasha, I was like, this is really cool. Obviously, after doing it 15, 20, 30 times, I was like, I'm a little bit over it. And they actually have a setting that you can put into the group finder, the duty finder, so that you don't do low-level duties, so you don't have to worry about that once you're above a certain level, which I think is also extremely nice. And that leads me to the other thing that I was going to talk about. The developers of this game, they think of the players first. There's a lot of things in other games where it feels like the developers either just don't care enough to make it more friendly to the user base, or they don't have the time to do it, whereas this feels like the developers make time to do those things. As an example is the thing I just talked about, like the duty finder settings, where you can do higher level ones instead of always being like, oh, maybe I'm gonna get Sastasha, maybe I'm gonna get the the Copper Bell Mines. You don't have to worry about that, and I think that that is really nice. And there's so many different things I can talk about in this game. I love the relic system. I think that it is super cool. I really like that they add like items in the game that you want to chase after and spend a lot of time grinding for. I think that that's such a cool idea. I mean, I've done a little bit of it, and I really want to do more of it. Obviously, right now I don't have a lot of time to do it, but once I start streaming again, I would like to finish Shadowbringers all the way through, and then start the relic grinds and start doing the actual end game raids, because I haven't done them yet. But aside from that, the other major thing that I enjoy about this game is the community. The community has been extremely kind, helpful, and supportive. of me playing the game in particular, but I think that in general, for new players, that's just how they are. They're really nice. And I think that that is really, really cool. To have a community that is so, like, open to help people and willing to show new players how to do things. Um, it makes the game so much more enjoyable. It reminds me of when I first started playing World of Warcraft 14, 15 years ago, and I ran across people that would just give me tips, help me play the game because I was, 10 years old, 11 years old, and they were just give me basically advice, help me understand the game when obviously I didn't know what I was doing. And it was the same in this game too. And of course, the last thing I think I'm going to talk about is the story. I know that not everybody's interested in the story, but as someone who isn't typically interested in story games like at all, I think the story in this game is extremely good. Probably the best story in a game that I've played. Granted, I haven't played many, but I have a hard time believing that they get a lot better than this one, if at all. But yeah, the way that everything ties to the story, the way that they handle the story in the game is just super, super good. Like, when they say that ARR all the way through Shadowbringers is one continuous story, they mean it. The things that we do in ARR do actually matter in Shadowbringers. And at the time doing ARR, I was like, this kind of, I don't know, this is a little bit slow. It's worth it because it builds it up to the point that basically it's like a huge journey that you go on. Whereas in other MMOs that I've played, it doesn't really have any emphasis on story. It's all about the gameplay, and if it has PvP, they usually focus on that. Which admittedly, I do think that Final Fantasy's PvP isn't fantastic, but I don't think it's bad. I think it's like a solid 7 out of 10. I think it's good, but it could definitely be better. But overall, I'd say that if you're thinking about trying Final Fantasy, I think that this game is 100% worth your time. As someone who's played it for a few months, my opinions on the game have only gotten better, which is rare. And actually just, I don't know, it's unheard of for me. Usually after I play a game for a few months, I kind of start to hate it, depending on the game. Usually the games I play are competitive games where you have to deal with a lot of, toxicity and stuff like that. And in this game, I haven't really dealt with that at all. So it's a huge change of pace for me. And if you're looking for a social MMO, if you're looking for an MMO that has good content and tons of content to do, and varied content, from the gold saucer to, doing ultimate raids, there's a lot of different things you can do in the game. And I genuinely believe that you can probably get the most bang for your buck playing this game over almost any game. And that's just my opinion. And if you agree with my opinion, let me know why you think what you do, or what your favorite content is, in the comments below. And if there's anything that you think that they should improve on, let me know. And if you can't get into Final Fantasy XIV, tell me why. I know that there are some people that have messaged me about, I tried Final Fantasy XIV, the beginning is too slow, and I just couldn't get into it. And I completely understand. When I first played the game 3 years ago, I got to like level 15 and I quit. And then again, like a year ago, I got to like level 15 and I quit. And then I did it again. I forced myself because I was like, you know what? I'm not really enjoying World of Warcraft. I really like MMOs. So what I did was I said, I'm going to pay for 1 month sub. And I paid for 1 month and I said, I'm going to play it for a month. And here we are. I played it for a month. And now I stream the game. I make videos about the game. I've recorded almost everything that I've done in the game story-wise, and as well as, raid content, dungeon content-wise. Ooh, I'm AFK. Let's not get kicked by the game. Okay, there we go. And yeah, I think that it is most certainly um, interesting how that happened. I didn't think that I was going to enjoy the game, to be honest. I just really wanted to play something, and I'm glad that I did. Because if I didn't, I wouldn't be making this video. I wouldn't have, you know, like 1,600 subscribers, and I wouldn't have any following on Twitch, to be honest. And I think that having a community to play this game with has made it also more enjoyable. To be fair, but that's the case with almost any game like this. I think that MMOs in general benefit from having a lot of people to play with. And yeah, that's kind of my little rant. That's my take on why I like the game after playing it for a few months, and why I continue to think about it and want to play it after a few months. And by a few months, it's been about 4 months. So yeah. So yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching this video. I appreciate it. And if you like the video, please like the video. And if you want to see more content from me, subscribe to my channel. It's been a little bit since I've done this. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh, and by the way, make sure you leave a comment if you have any sort of like input on what you like about the game or don't like about the game, because I am genuinely curious and I read all the comments. So, but anyway, thank you for watching this video. Goodbye.